So the first thing we need to do is open a browser. Any browser will do. And we're going to go to OneDrive.com. Type in OneDrive.com in the bar at the top, and it's going to load the page, and we're going to sign in. Up here in the top right hand corner is the sign in link, so click on that, and then we're going to sign in as rainbowcountrynet@outlook.com. So type in rainbowcountrynet@outlook.com and click next. Then we get the password, and that will log us in, and then we can see all the files. So a few files at the bottom and folders at the top. Just ignore the folders, those are for archiving and storing documents. What we're concerned with are the 4 files at the bottom. Some of these are printable lists, and it's worth printing these. So there's a regular list, so these are all the regular check-ins. These are the people that we're going to be calling during the week who are most regular, so you can print that list. There's also an others list. These are the people who are less frequent but may be checking in. They've been heard in the last few weeks. So there's that list. Or if you prefer, there's an all list, which is the 2 lists combined, and you can just print this one list. And you can use this for logging, a few extra lines at the end for writing in some extra check-ins that aren't on the list. And then after the net, you can go and enter the data into the spreadsheet, or if you prefer, you can go straight into the spreadsheet and not use the list, at least the paper list. But it's worth having a paper copy just in case the internet goes down and you have to go back to using paper. So the online list is this one here, and we just left click, single left click, and it will open up the spreadsheet. And this is the view you should get. You may, when it opens, it may have this ribbon, which might be locked in the top there. If it is there, then we can collapse the ribbon using this up arrow, and that just gives us more lines so we can see more of the more rows in the spreadsheet. These buttons at the top aren't going to do anything because in this version of Excel Online they don't function. I will use those at the end of the week to manipulate the data. And then in the spreadsheet, this is the integrated, or the combined spreadsheet with color coding. The white background are the regular ones that we're going to call, and the blue ones are the less regular that we might see, but we don't need to call them every time. You won't see any yellow, at least not in the first week. These are the people who are new check-ins. We haven't heard them before, or they weren't on the list. They've been added afterwards, and normally we'll put these down at the end. But the area we're going to do put the check-ins are obviously these 7 columns. A lot of these cells are locked, so you can't select any of these cells. It's well protected. The only cells you can click on are the ones for the logging over here. And when you log, all you're going to do is type in an X or an E. So we enter the X, and that gets logged. You can also type in comments here. This is another field that we've got. And also this column here is not locked, and that's so that we can search. I'll show that in a moment. But generally we're going to just go through, put in the X's, maybe put in some comments. The way to navigate through the list is just scrolling. I've got a scroll wheel on my mouse. I can quickly scroll up and down. there's a scroll bar on the right. We can scroll up and down using the scroll bar, or if you prefer, we can use find. The quickest way to find is Control F. Type in Control F. That brings up the find window. Let me just move it somewhere out of the way. And in the find window we can put in some text that we want to search for, like my call is XH. Type in XH, and then find next, and it will find the first occurrence of XH, which happens to be EXH. That's not the one we want, so we might need to press find again, find next, and I pressed it too many times there. XH was the one I wanted there. So you can leave the find window open if you want, or close it, your choice. And that's pretty much it. At the when we get a new call sign, probably the best thing to do is just write it down on paper. But at the end of the net, what we're going to do is put it in at the end. So I'm just going to type in the call sign, VA7. The next field is the suffix. Let's do ABC, and how did that get in there? And then we put in the preferred name, Fred. Oh, I need to change the case into lowercase. Fred, and his location, let's say Vancouver. You'll see it comes up in blue. The blue indicates that it's a cold, or it has no entries in it, no history. So we need to check this person in, and we do that just by putting the X or the E. Maybe he called in early, we can put in an E, and that will now change to yellow. So yellow indicates it's a new station, and we can just leave him there at the bottom of the list. I should point out that the only codes you can type into these cells is either the E for early or an X for a regular check-in. If you try to put in something else like a Y, it will give you this error message saying it's not a valid entry. So it needs to be changed. Okay, so that's Fred as an addition. And then the other thing you want to look at is the script tab down here at the bottom. And now here's an example of where the page opened and it's not left aligned. You can see the scroll bar at the bottom, so I'm going to drag that over to the left so I can see column A. So in the script, this is where you've got the script that you can read as we go through the net, and down here a little bit further down is the results. So you can see the counts of earliers and normal and the total, and over here is the total of all check-ins for the week. And this is calculating two ways. First of all, doing rows and then the totals of the rows or the totals of the columns, and this is just to make sure that the calculation is done correctly, and those two numbers should be the same, and it should be green for this check. If it isn't, then there's something wrong in the calculation, and that should never happen. So that's the script page and the check-ins. Oh, here we go. We need to scroll back up again. There we go. And that's pretty much it. You don't need to save at the end because this is a live form. Multiple people can access the form at the same time, and it's possible I could come in and make some changes and maybe write some comments if you need help, if you call for help.